I'm genuinely annoyed at myself at how long this has been sat on my shelf without me picking it up, because it has so easily become one of my favourite reads of the year, if not all time. It was absolutely stunning. I need you to read it. It is A Ghost in the Throat by Doirne Grifa, and it's a combination of essay and autofiction as she explores her connection to this Irish poet from the 1700s as she works to translate her poem, this epic poem about her husband's death, from Irish to English, and it is absolutely stunning. Her prose is incredible. I think you can really see her background both as a poet and as a bilingual writer in her writing. Like the influence of the Irish language is so clear in her grow for the language and its history. In her determination to do this translation justice is so beautiful. And the commentary on how women are not only just forgotten from history but willfully erased from history, and this recurring motif of female texts and how women of history so often exist in the negative space, particularly in written history. So poignant, so powerful. As she sinks like hours and hours, years of her life into researching this poet, Eileen Dove, and her life and all the women in her life, and so often having to use the written history of the men in her life, from her husband, father, sons, nephews, and trying to find the hints at her life through these male texts. Oh, it's so powerfully done. The way she explores how differently women experience the world and how this experience shapes us in ways that men generally can't even imagine. She explores grief and motherhood and inherited trauma, familial bonds, love, mourning. It's so good, and just the way she crafts the story, it doesn't feel like non-fiction at all. Like the narrative is so strong as she goes on this journey into Eileen Dove's life and how that affects her own life, and then it comes so full circle at the end. I absolutely loved it as we follow her through all these years of research into Eileen Dove's life and writing. And she's constantly questioning herself, and what is it all for? What is she doing all of this for? Will she ever do this translation justice? Is it worth it at all? And she finally gets to the end of it and she realizes what she's going to do, and at the very end she decides to write this book. So we reach the end of the book, and that is her deciding to go back and start this book, and I just love the cyclical nature of that. So good. Yeah, I loved everything about it. Absolutely stunning. 5 out of 5.